like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like a diamond.
I think the Nigerian music the industry, and when I say the industry now, we're talking about music and movies. I think it's one of those areas that has massive potentials, but also there are lots of pitfalls. Now, why do I say that? Take for instance, we just rebased the Nigerian economy, and you find that Nollywood is now contributing about 1.2% of GDP, which is quite significant considering the infrastructure of that of that industry. You have a lot of talent there, but in terms of infrastructure financing, it is actually self-financed by entrepreneurs, and there is no structure because now the reason for that is simple. The people that invest, whether they're borrowing or whether they're investing their capital, are not getting the returns because there's a lot of leakage in that space. So I produce a film, I produce a film and I make videos, then I distribute. Now the distributors there you have leakages in terms of duplication of the movies, and then you also have huge losses. So what happens, and also there's lack of information. So you have lack of infrastructure, you have lack of information, and then you also have, you don't have, there's lack of enforcement of copyright laws. So it's very difficult for a financial institution to take depositors' money and invest in a business where you don't have enough information to take decisions on how much to lend, how to lend, where the returns are going to come from, and the certainty of the repayments, because it's the repayments that determines how much you're going to lend, how long you're going to lend for. And this affects not just the banks, but also the entrepreneurs or the artists. So if you take the music industry, for instance, what is the value of D'banj? How much has it sold? How many records did he sell last year? How many people bought it? How much income was generated? You don't know because that information is not captured anywhere. And it's not captured, and my personal belief is not captured because in this day and age where music is now distributed digitally, in Nigeria we're still distributing by CDs, and nobody's capturing those records. So if we don't have information on how much did it cost to produce, how much did it cost to distribute, who bought it, then it's difficult to take a bet. Now, if you look at someone like Jay-Z, who has actually sold the rights to his next music to a particular to a Samsung for a particular amount, he is guaranteed his payment, and then it's now up to Samsung to use its marketing resources and capacity to generate income from the money they've actually invested. Now they can do this because they have information on Jay-Z's how many records he sold last, who he sold it to, and also the areas of the world where it was sold. So that kind of information allows people to take decisions on how to invest, and we need to implement this in Nigeria. And one of the ways we can do this is leapfrog a lot of structure and go to digital. So it would be good for a D'banj to sell his music electronically on iTunes Store, or some of the stores that are actually coming up. People are actually building musical, there are a few companies who actually have digital sites that they can sell to, and it could be financed by either angel investors or people who actually want to take a bet on that.
Not banks.
Banks will not invest. I don't think banks will. Our business is not to invest. Our business is to finance projects or to provide working capital, and we can provide working capital even to music houses if we know, for example, this music house has these artists who are valued at this amount, who are going to sell this kind of records, and there are no leakages in the distribution channel. And so when they sell the money, so if they sell 100 singles, for example, to 100 people, we know that a single cost, for example, let's use an arbitrary figure, like 5 naira. We know we're going to get 5 million naira or what have you. And we know that the cost, so when you remove all your costs and everything, this is the amount that is going to be left to make your payment. Until that is done, it will be a challenge. Now this means that all the stakeholders in that industry have to invest in putting that infrastructure together. So it's not about just the banks providing providing financing. What we will do, like in Diamond Bank, is that we will help provide infrastructure and advisory on how we can do this, and we also have to invest in terms of financial education, educating people on how to finance their businesses. The music industry associations or the movie associations have to come in to regulate and to discipline, put some discipline into how processes are done, and also the distribution has to be taken care of. I think that's one of the biggest areas of concern where you see a lot of leakages. And so if the current traditional distribution method is not working and it leads to losses and it leads to lack of information, it's either getting the distributors together or finding another distribution alternative. And that is those are the challenges that one is going to face. And the opportunities are huge. You have proliferation of smartphones in Nigeria now. You have people with over 60 million people with I think it's close to 100 million people who have mobile devices, and people are now beginning to upgrade to smartphones. Now smartphones, you will find that most people listen to music now, not on music boxes anymore, but either their iPhone or their smartphone or their Android handset. So it's a perfect delivery channel for people to either subscribe to music, and there are many payment models now. So you have people like Spotify who you pay a monthly subscription to listen to all kinds of music, and you have the iTunes store where you buy the music, and they have their radio where you can listen and you can buy. So, and that presents a huge opportunity, and then the setup is not as draconian as the traditional way. So there's a lot of opportunity, but it involves a sit down of all the stakeholders and say, okay, how do we want to build this industry? And Diamond Bank, we're always interested. We're interested in the success of that industry because it is an industry where you have a lot of retail opportunities, and Diamond Bank is in the retail. We're in the retail business, and so we will play our part to. And we have partnered with music industry and the Nollywood in many ventures, but those are small. I think what we need now is giant steps to actually take decisions to actually build that music industry, that entertainment industry, and capture a larger amount of the market and the GDP as well.